Right?
But it has to take references from things that
well, what if I was just
has
like,
already been made. You can take your voice and turn it into like musical notes or MIDI notes and stuff. I have it upstairs.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Can we play with that later?
Yeah, but at the same time, like that's something that you have thought of. That's like it's whatever you tune that you're humming or what have you in your mind.
But right now you were doing it. Dun, 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 dun. And then you could take those sounds and that pattern and manipulate it.
Yeah,
like a little like an MPC, but not really.
Kinda, yeah. It's pretty crazy. But once again, that's not something that is AI. Hold on.
Oh.
But you can actually clone voices too. So like you could clone your voice and like feed the AI a certain amount of your vocals, and then it'll literally like catch all your inflections and everything, and you can have your voice.
Can I sound like Ariana?
Yeah.
That's another thing too. Jay, who runs Dream Kings, he made a demonstration that he put on the Dream King site or like on socials or whatever of him starting off singing. And like all respect to Jay, he's a tremendous engineer, but he's not a singer. Like Jay, who I admired so much, he sounds like he chews cigarettes.
We're going to convert this into...
But when he started singing, it was his voice, and then it turned into like Brandy, then it turned into like Mariah Carey.
What?
Commit up to this insert. Sounds like...
Yeah, it can make you sound like that. And that's one of the things that I take umbrage with AI. Like, when it comes to singers in particular, that's a talent. It's something that you have. Like, if you have that type of software, like an artist like Leah Sabella, for instance, who is an amazing singer. Tell me what you like, you know I got what you need. And then you got Wendy, what the f***? And she has this thing. Now she's competing on the same level as a person who... has the talent, yeah, and who's like earned it as a person who's just trying it out, and that, like I don't feel like that type of competition is fair.
This is what we've uploaded.
Ready to die, I hear the cry.
And then you hit convert.
Ready to die, I hear the cry.
That is nuts.
Is that real? Like,
yeah, it's a real thing. Like you can take somebody with a gravelly voice and make them sound like Whitney Houston or something.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the guy he's talking about, Dream King. So we actually have my voice cloned at his studio, so anybody could hop in there. You could hop in there and sing something, and it'll be in my voice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's also kind of like incriminating. Like, what if I'm like, I use your voice and I say that I did something?
So there is a dark side to that. There is a dark side to that. There was actually like a story of this lady who got a phone call from her daughter saying that she was kidnapped and to send her money immediately. And then she was like, wait a minute, what the f-? She was like taken back, and then she's like, my daughter's sleeping upstairs, and went upstairs and checked on her daughter, and her daughter was sleeping.
God.
Yeah, and somebody was using her daughter's voice with AI to try to like scam her for money and stuff. Funny. Basically, it's like whose hands it gets into, you know?
When I was in Japan with my friends, one of my friends is very obnoxious. Shout out to Blake.
Shout out Blake.
He was like, I'm gonna create. Have you seen this? It's like an AI where you can make another person kiss another person. It looks like they're kissing. It's like, I'm gonna do this with you and like one of our other friends. And I was like, and I got so mad. I was like, that is a violation. I was like, that's also harassment. And he's like, I can't tell if you're joking or not. And I was like, it is. Like, you're not going to use my image for something like that. Like, gross. Like, how dare you? He's like, I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And then we got into an argument about it.
So do you, like, maybe in 2023 is when it, like, really started being a thing, and that's when, like, they kind of started, like, cloning. I don't know if you remember all those Drake songs that came out that weren't Drake, but it was...
No.
Oh, dude, they were fire. But,
So it took a computer to make Drake good.
like, I like Drake.
I do as well.
Me too, but
It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. But a lot of artists were getting pissed off, and I don't know if you know who Grimes is. She has a kid with Elon Musk. But anyways, she's like super forward thinking. No, she's super forward thinking. And she was actually the first artist to be like, hey, y'all can use my voice, but I'll approve it if it comes out. And so she, like, you know, made a bag from, like, doing these collabos, like, because some of them were actually, like, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that the way that Grimes has it, I feel like is a very productive way to do it. But not every artist is gonna want that, though.
No, but I mean, forward-thinking artists would, like, you could be, at that point, you can be an open source artist, and you kind of have your fan base creating music for you. And who better to create music for you than your fan base?
Hold on, let me point it to you like this though. Remember when Wayne was getting on people's song? He'd have the mixtape stuff, and any song that he liked, he would just do like a freestyle to it.
Yeah.
Money, hold on. Hold on. I know my first thing I'm doing.
Nowadays you can't do that because they'll just take that freestyle verse, put whoever artist and put their verses on the beginning and end. Go like, oh, I got a song featuring Wayne. That's why Wayne says that he doesn't put out mixtapes anymore. But it's like, it's at the point now where Wayne has so many songs, you could clone his voice, but remember the Dos Equis thing?
In the Pop 2X, that's Dos Equis, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So what was it?
Yeah,
something about
Pop 2X's, that's a Dos
Equis or something like that. It's clever, but ecstasy, but Dos Equis did it. Okay, you look like.
I get it, but I don't.
But like something that simple yet that clever, AI is not gonna be able to come up with that. You know what I mean? So even though you can sound like Wayne, like in your ears, you don't sound like Wayne.
You might be able to get that through AI but it's gonna take a few prompts and it's gonna take some dialing in, but you can get that. I've gotten some, honestly, I was surprised. So the first time I actually ever used, so when ChatGPT first came out, the first time I ever used AI for anything was to write lyrics. And it gave me this line, I was like, this hard. It said, forever young cause I'm fresh like Wakanda, I got rocks on me like Thanos, the unstoppable son. Like, I was like, ooh, like, I was like, that's hard, like.
All right, so maybe every once in a while, and there is a line, and I'm not gonna say who the artist is from, but you know the line, but something is, I don't wanna call it clever per se, but the wordplay of, with the, and there was a fat bitch in the back attacking her food. One chick's face was as black as the back of the moon. Like, just like insulting these different women. But at the same time, it was like that rhyme scheme and that like chopping up of the way that the words rhyme. Like, it's gonna take a long time before AI can come up with something like that we can already do now.
It's coming.
You know who I immediately thought of when you guys were talking, who I would think would not appreciate it, is RZA.
We're going to be talking about kung fu films that either we sampled for our production or that inspired our lyrics.
Because he takes pride in his intelligence and when he puts together his lyrics. And I think he would not appreciate that it's not coming from it's artificial intelligence.
I don't know, because, you know, the thing too is like RZA also came up on sampling. So AI essentially is sampling.
That's a sound though, and the way that he formulated things is so scientific.
I think he would appreciate it.
I don't think he would.
I would
get him on.
We would. I wish I would actually, honestly, I would genuinely just like to pick RZA's brain about AI and just see what he thinks about it.
Yeah, I
feel like a lot of people don't like AI. The mass majority.
Well, because they've been fear-mongered.
We are here to help.
But like, what else would get people to fear it?
Like, AI is taking over everybody's jobs, like the self-checkout. I mean, I don't know if that's considered AI, but I mean, you know, like...
I feel like it's like a variant.
I guess it's not, but they're getting more and more, like, for instance, maybe. Wait, but how do you? Okay, so how do you know if it's AI technology and just technology, like the waitress, the robot waitress?
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like a self-checkout is not
AI.
It's not AI, but it is taking people's jobs. If you don't have to pay a cashier to be there, you can just do self-checkout. That's not. I don't know when the last time you've been to Lucky's is, but it's just be like 15 different aisles and only 2 of them are open. And it's because they don't want to pay people to work all those aisles.
Well, I think they actually have an AI checkout at Sam's Club. Don't
AI meaning
I mean,
what?
like I'm not 100% sure on this. This would definitely have to be looked up. But you know how when Costco and Sam's Club, when you leave, they have people that check your receipts. At Sam's Club, they have people that scan the receipts and then you're on your way. Now they have some machine you walk through, and I think it uses AI technology to like, I don't know, maybe weigh or like perceive what's in your cart and what's on. I don't know how it works.
That kind of triggered like a little bit of a fear in me because like, what else are they like?
Oh, for sure.
Scanning for? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are they taking?
But like, in what? Because you travel, right? So you have to have all those documents. They all like. I was at the DMV not too long ago, and they had me scan my thumbprint like 4 different times. And I was like, I was just at that counter over there, and they had me do it again. And it's like when you come into any country, they take your picture, they do this and that. So it's like whatever your worst fear is of the government having your picture or your thumbprint or whatever. They already have that.
Yeah,
without you having to purchase something.
You're out there, like no matter what, you're probably on the dark web, to be honest. Like.
You're like, not that that's a laughable fear, but it was just the way that you made it.
It's just like everybody, like most likely, like most people's shit is out there, like unfortunately. And you know, one day with the data, you know, that we all give through our like all the apps and everything, which is they're already putting like AI into algorithms. So basically, based on like what you look up and everything, that's what it's gonna feed you to keep you on the app.
But people like me that have no idea, like, what if it's so far advanced in like the hidden government aspects?
Ooh, absolutely.
Where they can create like when you walk through a scan thing, and they take like how I move and the way I talk, and then they create a me.
They probably already have.
But to what end, though?
Just kidding.
But to what end, though? What benefit does the government have of having that AI
to do malicious shit?
But why they gotta blame you for it?
Well,
because I'm like a nobody, right? Like they need people who are not like in government, in politics, or whatever. Like the regular people of the world, right? They need someone's whatever, and then I go and I will do something crazy because they plant those crazy people that do things like that to create a distraction when they're doing shady shit, right? So I'm on the news, everyone's attention is here. They need those people, those like
MK Ultra guys.
So I wonder
with Luigi Mangione doing that, they're pulling that shooting and all that stuff. Like they found him in a McDonald's. Also, to shout out to Josh Johnson for being Emmy Award nominated for that stand-up bit. I think he's like the first comedian to be nominated for an Emmy.
Wow.
Yeah. But with Luigi Mangione though, like he was a person of promise, and they didn't see that coming.
This horrific crime that took place in the streets of New York in broad daylight, this harrowing attack. And I'm not saying that it wasn't. I'm just saying that the woman in the video with her coffee that got out of the way didn't spill.
Like just to rock up on somebody on the sidewalk and pap.
Yeah, I always, you know, when something is massively put into the media, I wasn't there, so I don't know. You know, like I know what I see with my eyes. But that's the crazy thing. But back to what you're kind of talking about, I do feel like, you know, the AI that we're getting now has probably been used and studied for a long time. Yeah. And, you know, then it becomes available to the public. So yeah, for example, if you were fearing that maybe you're walking through something and they might be taking your identity or certain things about you, and then you ask, why would they do that? Maybe, for example, let's just say it's like some kind of military thing that has access to be able to use like certain things about people. Maybe, you know, it's cloning the way that, you know, you talk for some reason to provide some kind of instructions to trigger things, or maybe it's cloning your movements to give the suit, like the soldiers, whatever it is, I don't know. But I wouldn't, you know, what we have now has already been out, so who knows what is out there already, good and bad.
What the fear part is, because you know, the unknown, like what are they going to use it for? It's kind of scary.
It just really depends on who controls it.
I mean, without getting too much into conspiracy theories and stuff, what do you guys think about? I mean, not to say that it's not going to get bad. It's going to come back around to that. But in terms of like what people use it for and what people like, there's a danger in the public having AI and not for just cloning somebody to, oh, it's a picture of you kissing Derek or whatever. I don't know the person you're talking about. But like when it comes to art and stuff like that, like there's so much of the creative side that people have that just makes jobs obsolete, like web design. You don't need to hire a web designer anymore. Like you don't need to go to a graphic designer sometimes. Like I have a very close friend of mine, legendary art, _art, 1, 2, 3. But it gets dangerous when people are like, oh, I love her work, but I can do this elsewhere with this and that. It's like you're taking a person who studied this and developed this talent or this skill and taking that profitability away from them. Same thing like musicians, when it's like, oh, you can take that person's voice and clone it. It's like that person now, you know, like, oh, I have an idea for this record. Oh, such and such already had the computer do that.